market's looking kind of quirky. Could see a major rip your face off rally. We'll see. We'll look at it all. This is Trading Live with Bubba. It's Thursday, April the 18th. In the meantime, right now, markets are higher across the board after being lower overnight. Again, we do expect at some point there's going to be a pretty sharp rally. We haven't gotten much trade yet to do, but I think that hold on a second. I don't think that right now there's not much that we're looking at. I think that the overall picture will suggest that you're going to see some sort of big rally off of this. And, again, that'll be an opportunity to sell. But right now, we want to worry about how to make money right now. And, of course, when we're trading the pattern we trade in the morning together, it doesn't matter. We don't care where the market's going to go. But when you look at the longer term, okay, you can see that we're oversold in the Dow, for example, which would expect you to believe there might be some sort of a rally that'll show up here in the S&P. The same thing. You got very oversold. You'd expect a rally. And remember, you have to learn to expect certain things. Again, doesn't mean you act on them. But right now, if you're going to make a trade in the indexes, okay, or the SPY, the Qs, you want to be a seller. You want to be a put spread seller now. You don't want to be a seller of the market here. You want to sell into strength, sell into a rally, and you would expect a rally to come here. And I think that's what I would share with you, okay, is that you want to look for those opportunities as they come. And, of course, for weeks we were selling the overbought conditions, and it worked out perfectly. Now we're looking the other side. So let's just go back and see if there's anything to trade. Crude oil is a potential, but it's already coming back too fast. Gold could be a potential sale coming. But again, it's not real active, okay? Hold on one second for me, please. So again, you have to look at where the opportunities arise, and right now, the only thing that's close, which is still a minute away, is crude. So we'll come back to that in a minute and just start looking at where we are in our general stocks that we watch. And now that we're towards the end of the week, once again, we're willing to go ahead and do those either 1 or 2 day events. In other words, you've got the Qs and spiders for today. There's a daily, and then we've got tomorrow, which is expiration day for a lot of the other things. So right now in Apple, yeah, you're off the oversold. You're kind of mid range. Not a lot to do here. If anything, I would expect a potential rally, but again, there's nothing that I'm going to want to do right now. There's nothing that's jumping out at me. In Amazon, you're dead middle at the mean. So again, there's not much I want to do here right now. I'm looking for either a sell-off down to 175 or a rally up to 190, basically. So you're kind of mid-range. Coin, big rally. Again, we told you on Tuesday to sell put spreads for the week, and here we go. So, again, this is still probably a put spread sellable place, as you would expect a bigger rally as we see. And Meta, which, again, in the middle of nowhere, came down. Didn't give us a chance because we weren't together, but it came down. Opportunity potential. Google in the middle of nowhere. IWM at the oversold. So what you're seeing a few of the things that are oversold, and a lot of things that were overbought have now come back to the mean. So if you start to repeat this process over and over again, you will find it'll be a much better situation for you to let you do a more trades, okay, that are more mathematically sound. Okay, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the opportunity to do things that are mathematically sound. This should have nothing to do with an opinion that you have. It should have everything to do with what the price action is showing you. And Moderna, I would guess it's mid-range. It got to a little bit oversold. Again, sometimes it happens so fast, there's nothing you can do about it anyway. So there's really not much here. Microsoft, certainly, you might want to look to sell some put spreads here. NVIDIA, look at that. It's still stuck in that tight little range. So again, certainly if I'm going to do anything here in NVIDIA, it would be to sell put spreads, the Qs, put spreads, Square, put spreads, and I'm selling those. So in other words, we're taking a long position if you're not sure what I'm saying. Okay. SPY, put spreads, Tesla, put spreads for sure. Win, put spreads. And I think that's all we cover. But either way, it doesn't matter what you're looking at. What you're trying to identify is places of opportunity. Okay. So now we did have a potential trade in crude. So let's go see what we got. And we can buy crude. If you're trading with me, you can buy it. Okay. And our stop would be at 80, 90 would be our stop. And that is, we're using June, by the way. Okay. 80, 90 in June. Okay. And now, of course, you want to go ahead and put some orders on top, depending on what your quantity is, but you want to sell 10 ticks above, and then again 20 ticks above, and then I have 4 contracts on, so I want to get rid of half and try to lock in 30 ticks. Of course, right now I'm not. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now we've got a little bit of a profit, and hopefully we can get one off here. I'm in at 71, so I need 81 to print to get out of at least one, and then I'm going to go to break even on the balance. Okay, not working. It's not charging as fast as we'd like it to charge, but again, it's still slightly profitable. Nothing phenomenal. Nothing I'd write home about. But again, we can't always worry about that. And let's just see if anything else is going on while we're waiting for this to potentially come to play. No, not really. Again, it's pretty quiet. It's pretty not much of things really to do right now. So you just have to sit back and kind of, relax. Again, it's not, when it's busy, you want to trade as much as you can. When it's not busy, you want to do as much study as you can. Okay. Because again, the busier the markets get, the more opportunity that is created for you. When they are quiet and passive as they are right now, then you want to be more defensive as you wait. This is the key to being successful in the trading, is to be passive when it's not busy enough, and wait for opportunities. And when it gets a little bit crazier, which it will, then you can become a little bit more aggressive, but you still want to use the same tools that you always use when you're trying to trade. Okay. It's not about the number of trades you make, because you're making a lot of bad trades. What good are you doing for yourself? It has to be based on the entire structure that you're watching. Okay. And when we learn to do that, it allows us opportunity to do what we need to do. Okay. And it gives us a better spot for entries and so on and so forth. Okay. So in the meantime, right now we're just hovering right around break even on this crude. Okay. So right now this trade is not reacting fast enough for me, for the reason I made the trade. We normally expect to see off of this trade, in this case, it would be a V shape up. Okay. Versus down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and look to get the break even now. I'm not going to necessarily get out. I'd like to see a little bit of a pop right now. So I can, it's almost what I call a give up. Okay. But I want to get out. Okay. If I can, but also I want to give it an opportunity to run. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for right now. I want to try to get out if I can. I want to try to give it some room, but I also don't want to sit here and wait Okay, because again, the overall opportunity that I'm seeing is with the trade. The reason that we have the trade on is kind of dissipating now. Okay, so there's no real reason for me to sit here and say, well, it'll work. No, these trades should work much faster when they happen. Okay, now we can be in them for an extended period of time when they're working, because if we're locking up profits and trailing the stop up, that's great. Okay, but when we're now just right around that break even level, and we've been here for about 4 or 5 minutes, that's enough time to say, hey, we're not getting that immediate explosion that we're looking for. So we now want to say, okay, let's look out, let's try to get out and get to another trade. Okay. So again, I don't know if any of you have had a chance to get to break even. I personally did not, but again, everything depends on where your entry was. I mean, it's only a small loser as it is right now anyways, but again, that's not the point. The point is where does your opportunity come and what are you going to do? And that's what we are always trying to focus on. Again, we're always playing defense. Okay. You get to play offense once you get into the position of being in that spot. But right now, we have a trade that if you didn't get stopped out and get out for break even, then you're down a little bit. Okay. And so now again, I'm going to wait. I mean, I'm not getting out early. Okay. I'm not just going to take the loss here. In fact, now, as a matter of fact, the appearance of a potential add-on, which we did not get. Okay. But sometimes we'll add to the trade if the same pattern shows once again. Okay. So that is what you're looking at. Okay. It was close, but again, we're not busy enough to be that active or try to be that aggressive. And that's what I want you to learn, is that you don't always have to try to be aggressive. You want to be aggressive when the market's being aggressive, and you want to be passive when the market's being passive. And right now the markets are pretty damn passive. Okay. They are not exactly thrilling and exciting like we should be doing all kinds of trades. There isn't a lot for us to do. It does look like the rally is trying to continue in the indexes, but it doesn't look like there's much else going on. And this is something that, again, this is where your focus has to be as you watch and you look at these markets. Okay. Because again, it's more of a math model. It goes back to what we talk about all the time and doing spreads. Okay. Trying to take advantage of the short window in time. Okay. And so right now, again, you've got a market that is just kind of churning. It's not giving us much opportunity. Okay. It's just in that range where we're a tiny loser at the moment, but there's no other trades going on. This is what we look at. There's nothing else going on. It is. And if the futures aren't moving, then most of the stocks are not moving either. And that is something that you want to watch for. Okay. And to be good at this, it takes a lot of patience and a lot of discipline to be good. Okay. Because just to fire in is silly. Okay. Will never make you any real money over the long run. So you got to just be willing to wait. And again, we have nothing here. Look at the volume is doing nothing but declining everywhere we look. Okay. Declining. So there is no real action right now, which is also consistent with a market that could get that dead cat, rip your face off rally, which again would be a selling opportunity. Okay. That's the beautiful thing about markets that are headed south or headed down, especially bear markets, is the rallies are vicious and they're great to sell into. Okay. You just got to find a good level to sell into and understand the risk that you're taking, because of course the whole business is based on risk. Okay. So in the meantime, we're sitting here we haven't really moved hardly anywhere since we got into this trade, which again, that's the issue. That's what we deal with. Okay. We haven't really done anything. Okay. We haven't really gone anywhere. So we're just sitting back waiting for the next opportunity to show up. And if it doesn't show up, hey, there's no shame in taking a day and say, you know what, there's nothing to do. Okay. Again, you cannot worry if you're going to miss one trade, but right now you can see that we've been together for, 20 minutes, and right now there's not much going on. So there really hasn't been created a lot of opportunities. Certainly the Russell is a potential, something to look at. Okay. because that will, let's see what this is going to get rid of this so I can see it. Yeah, see, but again, you don't really have much. I mean, if that, I want that volume to get through, over that line at least. And I don't see it happening right now. Okay. So again, it's like, do I really feel like I want to get involved here? And I think hopefully your answer is no, because there really isn't an overwhelming amount of activity. Okay. We can get a spike of volume. Again, remember, it takes two components when we're making this day trade: price and volume. Okay. And if we're not getting either one, then there's nothing to trade anyways. You need them both to give yourself an opportunity to trade. Okay. If you don't get both, then there's nothing to trade. And that's what you always have to remember, is the ability that is there. Okay. And right now, again, there is absolutely nothing happening, but we're still watching. And the Russell's making new highs as we speak, as is the Dow. Okay. So listen, we're not in, and the only trade we would be making, and based on these charts, would be to the short side. The longer term charts, you would be to the long side. Again, it just depends on all about the time frame that you're watching. Okay. And typically, most of you aren't trading on a daily time frame. So again, right now, you'd be looking for a spot to sell. If you were looking for something daily, you'd be looking for something to buy. And that coincides with selling put spreads for the day, but looking for a rally in the short term. Okay. Or looking to get long for the day that it'll hold, and looking to sell in the short term here. That's something that we have to always continue to focus on. But right now we have no trades. We're just kind of grinding slowly higher. Okay. And again, that's fine. Okay. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about that. Okay. All we can do is watch, because we're not going to create action. So you may want to look at, again, selling some put spreads in the SPY. Okay. Selling some put spreads in the Qs. Okay. And then, of course, if you want to look at some stuff for tomorrow, which you can, again, one day is okay too. Again, what we do when we use the SPYs and the Qs is we're eliminating the overnight risk. Okay. Because the trade's going to be over in 4 hours from now or 5 hours from now. So that's what you're going to look at. Right now, again, it's very quiet. It's very slow. There's virtually nothing to do at the moment. So we sit here and we talk and chat, and, what can I tell you? As much as I would like there to be something to do, I cannot make something happen that is not happening. Okay. All I can do is watch, which is what I'm doing. Okay. But I'll be taking a half a day off. I can tell you that, because I can see that there's not much activity for me to even want to get involved right now. So again, why should I risk my money in a market that is not giving me money to trade and giving me great opportunities? And that is something that we always have to focus on, is, again, it's about the amount of opportunities that we get. And we're still hovering and hanging in on our crude trade. Okay. Again, it's a small loser at the moment, unless you were lucky enough to have gotten a stop and gotten out. But at the end of the day, this is what we're focusing on. Okay. Is where are the opportunities going to show up? And right now you're seeing the lack of volume, the lack of price movement is really creating the lack of opportunity. Okay. And that's, again, what you have to learn and focus on as you work the model. Okay. Again, there's not much else to say. So again, remember to get that stop at break even if you can on the crude, if you're in it. And if not, have a great day. Have a great weekend, everybody. And we'll see you back here on Tuesday. This is Trading Live with Bubba. We'll see you on Tuesday.
All opinions expressed by Tradier Hub contributors are solely the contributors' opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Tradier nor its affiliates and/or subsidiaries. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Hub contributors as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or to follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of their opinion. The contributors' opinions are based on their own personal research, but neither Tradier nor its affiliates and/or subsidiaries warrants its completeness or accuracy, and it should not be relied upon as such. Any trades or positions discussed or referred to by contributors may or may not be actually actual live trades or positions. Such information is not intended to be financial or investment advice. Tradier Inc. is the parent company of Tradier Brokerage Inc. Tradier Brokerage Inc. and Tradier Inc. are separate entities with their own products and services. Securities products and services are offered through Tradier Brokerage Inc. Tradier Brokerage Inc. is an independent subsidiary of Tradier Inc., all rights reserved, member FINRA SIPC.